Man, I tell you what, I love the holidays. I love Christmas. I love the generosity around Christmas. I love being a grandpa at Christmas. I love being around family at Christmas. I hate being around the calories at Christmas because I take them all in and now I have to work them off. And I know you didn't do that. But I tell you what, man, this beginning of a new year, I know it's something that's quote man-made, meaning that we have a calendar that we've observed the stars and the rotation of the sun and the moon and etc. And we came up with a calendar and we get our we didn't come up with it, but we observed it but the beginning of a year is it's something it's in our brains. But you know what? It's still a fresh start. You still get a whiteboard. You didn't do everything you wanted to do like you wanted to do it in the last year. You won't do everything perfect this year. You can go ahead and give yourself some grace in advance, but you know what? You ought to try. You ought to try. There's a quote that is attributed loosely to St. Augustine that says, pray like it depends on God, like it all depends on God, and work like it all depends on you. And so, it's time to do both. It's time to make your life better. It's time to make the life of your family better. It's time to make the life of your church better. It's time to make the life of your community better. It's time to make the life of your nation better. And you have something to say about that. You're not a victim. You are not being controlled by outside forces. Some of you are scared to death that Donald Trump is coming into office. Some of you are bouncing off the walls that Donald Trump is coming into office. And truthfully, him coming into office has about 1% to do with what happens to your life, unless you're going to be working for him. You are in charge of your life. And I want you to go win. I want you to sit down tonight, if you haven't already done it, and lay out some detailed goals. Not New Year's resolutions, some detailed goals. And, you need to look at financial goals. You need to look at intellectual goals. How many books are you going to read this year? How many classes are you going to take? Family goals. Are you going to do something different with your family this year? Spiritual goals. So you need to ramp up your church attendance, don't you? Your Bible reading. Physical goals. Some of you need to lose some weight and get in better shape. Some of you want to run a marathon for the first time in your life, a half marathon. Some of you want to do, I don't care, but you need to do this on purpose. It's not, you don't get to the end of your life and say, wow, that accidentally occurred. Most of the things that happen in your life were things you planted in the ground and they grew a harvest in your life. And if you don't plant anything in your field called your life, you know what grows? Weeds. You become an expert on The Bachelor. You become an expert on who got thrown off the island. You become an expert on everything that Fox News or CNN says, because you don't put anything intentionally in your brain that affects your life going forward. You need career goals. Some of you need to make more money, and that doesn't accidentally occur. Just showing up, some people have 20 years experience, some people have 1 year's experience 20 times. They don't learn anything, they don't get any better, they don't grow in their career. You need some social goals. You need to intentionally decide to engage some folks in your life on a social basis. Friends. My granny always used to say, if you want to have some friends, maybe you ought to be a friend. Your goals, in order for them to work, they need to be 5 things, and you need to write these 5 things down so you'll know that your goals are working. Number 1 and number 2, they need to be specific goals, and they need to be measurable goals. I want to lose some weight this year. You won't. That's measurable, but it's not specific. I want to lose 30 pounds. Good. Now we're going somewhere. I want to lose 10 pounds. I want to lose 28 pounds. I don't care what it is. I want to read more books this year. You won't. How many more books do you want to read? Be very specific. It needs to be measurable. It needs to be specific. Your goals need to have a time limit. As soon as you put a time limit on something that you were specific about, then the long division from 6th grade kicks in. I want to read 12 books this year. Oh, instantly you know that's 1 a month, don't you? And that's 1/4 of a book every week, isn't it? Yeah. And you need to write that down. You need to have them in writing. Put your goals in writing. If you don't write it down, it never happened. That's true about contracts, and it's true about goals. A lot of people have goals and New Year's resolutions. They say them. They don't write them down. When you write them down is when they happen. You need to write down, I want to make more money. Great. How much more? This year? And then write it down. And then start taking the steps as to what you're going to do for that to work. So goals that work must be specific. They must be measurable. They must have a time limit. They must be in writing. And they must be your goals. They're not goals I give you. They're not goals your mother gives you. My wife wants me to lose more weight. You won't. Unless you're just a complete wuss. You do everything she tells you to do. And then even then it won't stick. You won't do it. My husband always wanted me to be thinner. Yeah, probably, but that's not going to cause you to be thinner. Think about it. They need to be your goals. You have to want to pay the price to win, and there's always a price to be paid when you're going to win. You have to be sick and tired of being sick and tired. You have to reach the point that you say, that's it, I've had it. I'm not living like this anymore. I'm not going to try to fit in these jeans anymore. I'm going to get that weight off. I'm not going to wait around to write my book this year. I'm going to write it. I'm not going to wallow around in this victim mentality anymore. I'm going to spiritually address my life and change my connectivity to God. You have to do it intentionally. It has to be your choice. I can't do it for you. I want you to be out of debt. Some of you, though, I want you to be out of debt more than you want to be out of debt. Why do I want you to be out of debt? It's because then you'll build wealth. Why do I want you to build wealth? Because then you can change your family tree and take care of yourself and bless others with outrageous generosity and have a high-quality life and get to live your dreams and travel and do some of the things that Sharon and I have been blessed to do. I'd like for some of you to get to do that. But you're going to have to be specific and measurable and have a time limit and put it in writing and emotionally own the goal yourself. It has to be your goal. That's how you start your year, people, right there. You can do this. Changes everything when you do. Put it down in writing. Sit down tonight, turn off the stupid television. It's not making you any money. You're watching other people make a good living. It's not helping you get thinner. You're sitting there getting fat watching TV. Seriously, make a decision. What are you going to do? This is the Dave Ramsey Show. Hey guys, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, click the subscribe button to get the latest content and check out these other great clips from the show.